Paul O'D of Cage Legacy and the MMA Opinion. I am joined on the line today by Fiadh Maguire of MMA Cork. Fiadh takes on Sarah Carney on April 3rd at Cage Legacy, The Aftermath, live on pay-per-view. How are you doing today, Fiadh?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. I suppose first off, I do want to touch on, tell me a little bit about your background and how you got started in MMA. I know your two brothers are heavily steeped in it, so is that the main reason?
Yeah, that's definitely the main reason. I didn't actually want to join MMA. It was when I was I think 12 or 13. I hated sport when I was growing up. I didn't do anything. And then they used to bully me, calling me useless and stuff because I had 2 left feet and I was just so unhealthy and everything. So then Aaron forced me to start working out, even just in the house. And I was just so unfit. So then eventually he was like, right, you're coming up to the gym. And I just started off by doing I didn't start doing MMA straight away. I was just doing stupid drills and jumping jacks and stuff, just trying to get fit. But then I kind of just kept going, and I started, it was only 3 years ago or so. I was do you know what, I actually want to compete now. I've been doing it a while, so yeah. It was completely forced, yeah.
Very good. And tell me a little bit about this training camp in and of itself, I suppose, given the pandemic and lockdowns and everything. How difficult has it been putting a training camp together for this one?
It's been difficult, but I suppose I'm kind of lucky in the position I am where I'm obviously the coach is my brother and stuff. So obviously they're always there to help me out. And I have a lot of people that just I can kind of go to and stuff like that. But the main kind of problem for me was that I actually broke my nose at the end of January, and I only got it reset start of February or so. So I've actually only been able to go back sparring 2 weeks ago max, I'd say. So that was kind of my biggest thing. And even I went back sparring and it still hurts sometimes, but it's not broken anymore. But that's kind of been my biggest setback, really, more so than actual COVID.
Very
just
good.
Injury. Yeah.
And I do want to touch on the event itself. Cage Legacy obviously putting on this event. There hasn't been an event in the whole of 2020, and it's the first time back. What do you think is the significance of this event, given that we haven't had an event so long, and for young amateur athletes and young pro athletes that are just turning pro, what do you think it means to everyone?
I feel like people are just so excited for something to finally be happening. There's been so much there was announcements for shows during 2020 and people are getting excited, but all of them fell through. So I think people really just needed something to look forward to for this one. And I feel like they're actually going to pull it out of the bag this time, whereas before everything kind of went to the dogs last year with every fight show. So I feel like people are it's a bit closer this time. So it's just exciting, really, that something's finally happening.
Of course, and this is your first time competing on Cage Legacy. Are you excited to put on a show in front of these fans? I think you've competed in a jiu-jitsu match at Cage Legacy.
I did grappling in Cage Legacy before, and a kickboxing one in Cage Legacy. Okay. So, but I've never done MMA on Cage Legacy, so it's going to be nice. Yeah. But I know the Declan and Darren and stuff, so it'd be nice to see him. Yeah.
And with the pay-per-view model, what do you make of that? Are you happy that people, despite the conditions, everyone's able to watch your fight? Do you think more people will watch as a result of the fact that they can watch it from their own home?
I'm not sure, really, because I suppose a lot of people actually go to the fights for the whole atmosphere. Going to it, you'd find a lot of people that just have no interest in fighting but are just there for the night out. But I think there's the other hand then is it's so easy to just get the link and watch it at home, which I know some of my friends now are watching it who probably would have never come to my fights before because they just are so allergic to that whole scene. But now, since they can just do it at home, and it's a lot cheaper as well, they're only €11, so I feel like it's just so easy to just tune in.
And you don't have to pay for the big night out that comes with it, of
No,
course.
yeah, literally €11 and you're just started. Like,
yeah. I want to touch on, again, you mentioned about Aaron and of course Jack, your older brother, and being bullied into joining MMA in a way.
That is the right word. Yeah.
I kind of do you think that you'll be competing? You've kind of mentioned it, but do you think you'll be competing in MMA now? Or do you foresee, would you have foreseen yourself having a career in any kind of sport only for their influence?
No, I wouldn't have. I'd say I would have just kept going. I'd say I would have been so unhealthy if they hadn't actually pushed me to do it. Like, but like they never kind of cared whether I did MMA or not. They were like, you have to do something because this is disgraceful. Like, I was just so lazy. Like, so they never pushed me to compete, or like they were never like, you have to come training every day or anything like that. But gradually, that's just what I wanted to do. So like, they kind of were just happy that I was doing anything, really.
Of course,
yeah.
And seeing them on the big stage.
I never started it thinking,
Sorry, and seeing them on the big stage, is that kind of what influences you and what made your decision clear that you wanted it to progress in MMA?
Yeah, I suppose it was just nice because I'd seen the two of them doing it, and I'd seen like the worst of it and the best of it and everything. So like, I suppose when I finally decided that I wanted to do it, I knew exactly what I was getting myself into. You know, it was never like, I never saw it as like all the nice social media and the interviews and stuff. I just saw like everything. So I knew how hard it was going to be, but like, I felt like it kind of cemented it for me so much that like, yeah, I do want to do this. I know what goes on. So like, it was a great help just seeing them go through it first.
Yeah, we actually had Jack on the MMA Opinion podcast recently. With John Mitchell, and he mentioned that you're the.
He doesn't do MMA, like
but he actually mentioned that you're the money in the family. You're the one they're all banking on going pro and getting to the big stage.
That'd be sorry anyway.
We do have to touch on your opponent, of course. You're fighting Sarah Carney. She's fighting out of SBG D24, and she's making her debut. Do you know much about her and her background, and what are you expecting from her?
I was trying to, obviously she doesn't have much videos of herself competing. I suppose no one really does when you're just starting off in your MMA career. Like, so I don't actually know much about her. I think she did Taekwondo or something before. So I'm kind of just trying to cover all grounds really and just do my best with it. Cause like for my fight before, I didn't have any videos of the girls.
Yeah.
And you kind of just have to focus on yourself really, like, and just make sure you have yourself covered.
Yeah, just focus on yourself, of course. With a win here, what's next for you? Are you hoping to be active in 2021 and get another bout, kind of a quick turnaround, or are you looking to? I suppose you had a bit of a layoff after your first fight. Could we see that again?
No, the only reason I want to be active, like the only reason I haven't fought in so long was because all of them fell through. Like all the ones I was meant to do didn't actually go ahead. Like I probably would have fought like 3 or 4 times by now if it hadn't been for everything that's happened. But like I do plan, once I just want to kind of keep going and just be active in it. Like I've been training so long and I've been wanting to compete for so long. I kind of feel as though I'm like prepared to just go in and do a few, like.
Yeah, of course. We do like to ask all the fighters that come on as well to tell us something we don't know about them. So what don't we know about Fiadh Maguire?
I suppose I'm studying art, like. They don't really go together.
In second year or?
No, I'm actually, I was putting together a portfolio to apply for art college this year. So I was doing like course, it's a PLC course, but it's just to make a portfolio to play for art college. But it was very much more full on than I was expecting. So I feel like that's something people are surprised to hear when they say I do MMA, and then I'm also painting pictures then in the meantime.
Well, technically martial arts is an art in itself, so it's not too far distant.
I'm an artist in 2 ways.
Exactly. And just for a soundbite, why should we tune into your fight specifically on April 3rd?
Well, I think first of all, it's always good to support women in MMA because it's a ever-growing thing, and we definitely need more girls joining it, because I feel as though I've been in the same pool of girls for the last 3 years. And I just think it's going to be a good fight. Like, I think Sarah seems like she's very dedicated to her training as well, and I feel like we're both very, very like just passionate about what we're doing right now. So yeah.
Very good. And before we let you go, where can we find you on social media, and do you have any shout outs that you would like to do?
Well, you can follow my social media is on public, so anyone can follow me. It's Fiadh on Instagram, FIADHH, and also MMA Cork on Instagram, which is my gym, and that their name's just MMA Cork. I like to give a shout out to them, obviously, and my coach Aaron and Jack, and also my strength and conditioning coach Dave DuPont from Body Mechanics, because he's been helping me out loads.
Very good. Be sure. And, go on.
Alpha Fighter Management, Barry. He's helped me out with all my gear and stuff like that as well. So
excellent.
They're the main ones anyway.
Very good. Be sure and tune in on April 3rd. Fiadh Maguire takes on Sarah Kearney on a Cage Legacy The Aftermath live on pay-per-view. Thank you very much for joining me today, Fiadh.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.